Recently, DJI released the new Mic 3 and people are going crazy about it. It offers great audio at a smaller size and a bunch of upgraded features that really look promising. But here's the thing. We also have the Mic Mini. It's 3 times cheaper but it shares a lot of similar features. So the big question is, which one is right for you? In this video, we'll compare the new features of the DJI Mic 3 with the Mic Mini, run real-life audio test in different scenarios, do a range test, and finally I'll share my conclusion on why I will choose one over the other. So hit that subscribe button and let's find out. Let's start by viewing the DJI Mic 3. We have an upgraded design. They removed the lav input and USB slot to make it smaller, and really minimal 2-button design which serve multiple purposes: to turn it on, record the audio internally, switch to active noise cancellation mode, and a linking button to switch between the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connections. And we have a new design of the removable clip, which turns and locks in positions so you can have a different orientation of the mic or simply just place it with the magnets. For this video, we are using the transmitter only version. I had a similar for Mic 2 before, which I lost it, but don't be disappointed. You have all of the features of the Mic 3 embedded into a single transmitter, and the great news is it can be accessed by the mobile app DJI Mimo. I bought it only for 32-bit floating audio that is always recorded inside the transmitter, never on camera, because most of the cameras support 16 or 24-bit of audio transmission. So with Mic 2, you had to download the audio from the transmitter and that synchronize it in the post manually. But now DJI has added Timecode, which lets you synchronize the timecode of the camera with the mic. That makes the editing really easy given your software supports the auto timecode synchronization. And here's how you can connect your DJI mic with the DJI Mimo app. You have to put transmitter in the pairing mode by holding this button for 2 seconds and then open the DJI Mimo app and you are connected. See, we have this app interface where we don't see the current gain bar, but we can set up the gain from -12 to +12. It's like they are saying, if you have 32-bit, why do you need to see the gains? You can mute your microphone from here by pressing this button, and also you can stop or start the recording. And when you see it's recording, you'll see that red button. Also on the mic, you have this red LED. You can format your transmitter from here, which gives you the option, and it also shows you how much storage you have used. And then the new feature that is actually kind of interesting, one that I first saw in the Holyland lineup. So if you want to see, there are 3 voice tones. The first one is the regular one. This is how your voice sound if you are using the regular one. It should be without any kind of post-processing done. And then we can switch it to the rich one. So the rich one should provide us better sound with more kind of, let's say, a deep, bassy kind of sound. Or let's say the lows of your volume little bit more better, so you get that bassy kind of volume, which is nice if you want that deep podcast kind of voice. And the last one we will try is the bright one. So in the bright one, it will pick up more on the high frequencies. So let's say your voice will sound much more sharper and bright. I think if you want something like where it's hard to pick up the voice, this could be one of the settings to lighten up your sound. And then we have the noise reduction. You can set it to strong and basic, and when you do it, you can see with the noise reduction on, you have this yellow LED that lights up. Then you can sense the time to your phone. Like, first I thought this would be kind of a way to hack into a kind of time code, but when I imported this footage, it did not show any kind of time code to that audio file. So the time code is only available if you buy the receiver and transmitter combo. And then you also have an option to set password to, let's say, your device so nobody can access it, which is actually pretty cool. You have an option to download your files over the air. And this is not all. You also have the other settings. If you go to this section, so here you can enable the low cut. So when you have the low cut enabled, it removes the, let's say, the lower sounds like the humming of AC. And then you have the adaptive gain control. So basically with the adaptive gain control, it automatically tries to manage the gain for you to adjust it for, let's say, highs and low. And in this one you have two options. One is a dynamic, that is more for the indoor studio kind of setup, and then you have automatic, which prevents clipping in the outdoor scenarios, or you can also disable it. And then you have option to disable the 32-bit float audio. I remember like last time with the DJI Mic 2, you can only enable the 32-bit using a Osmo Action device or the receiver, which was kind of a lock they put in so people cannot use the transmitter fully. And then you have another really good option, which is a file option. So you can have the original 32-bit file without any kind of, let's say, the processing like the low cut, the audio mode, tones, anything applied to it. Or you have the option to save both. So it will save two files. One file will have all the audio setting, one it will save without any kind of processing done. So you also have a secondary backup track, which is actually really useful feature. You can do the low power auto recording, which is more for like if your receiver is low, like 10% battery, it automatically enable the audio to be recorded on the receiver. And then you can enable or disable the vibration. And then you have the mic LED that you can enable and disable. A dark setting and you don't want to draw attention with the LED, you can even turn it off. And then you have a auto off switch. You can automatically power off the device after 15 minutes if it is not being used. And then the last part is about device, where you can see the firmware version, and it also gives you option to update it whenever there is a new update available. One other thing that I notice, that whenever you exit the DJI Mimo app and the microphone disconnects, so then you have to go through all the pairing procedure again. So keep the app open, you can still change the setting and do the recording at the same time. So it comes with this fabric case and has pockets for your magnets, windscreen and charger. That is also used to get the internal recording from the transmitter. And in today's video, I'll be comparing it with the DJI Mic Mini, since both are almost the same size and neither supports an external lav mic. Let's start with the main highlight of the Mic 3, the 32-bit float audio. I'm sure you've heard about it because all of the people keep repeating it so much. What it actually means in simple terms, 32-bit offers you a more range, like the sample that is recorded by both Mic Mini and Mic 3. If your audio is peaking over here, you have a bigger range using 32-bit to bring the audio down and make it much better compared to the 24-bit of Mic Mini. Peaking audio. Mostly used for bigger flexibility in loud scenarios. And then the DJI Mic 3 has the timecode, which is only available in the receiver combo. But other than that, Mic Mini has all sort of important features that are present in the Mic 3. So now we have connected our receiver to our phone, so I can show you the app settings in the case of Mic Mini. Like in this case, the transmitter doesn't have any kind of touch screen, so this is the only way you can change most of the settings. You can see we have this live bar over here which shows the current gains, and then you have, let's say, the settings. The first setting is the noise cancellation, which you can turn to basic and strong. And then we have the possibility of selecting the mono channel or the stereo. So the one benefit that you have in mono channel, you can enable this safety track. So basically in safety track, it records another, let's say, track, and it is, let's say, with the 6 dB reduction. So that providing you another track if your basic track was actually suddenly too loud. Then you have the same low cut, auto off after 15 minutes, you have the clipping control, and you can also make it on and off with the camera. Receiver actually power ups when you are powering up the camera. That works with both using the 3.5 mm cable, and also if you're using a Sony camera, you can use a hot shoe mount that transmit the audio directly to your Sony. In case you can also power up, also charge your receiver using only your Sony battery. And then you have auto off also in the case of transmitter, and then you have option to turn off or on the LED. Then you go into the about, you have the same device number, transmitter number, and also from here you can update the firmware when there is a release. It actually pops up over here. And the best part, both of the mics connect to the DJI devices to transmit high quality audio without the need of transmitter using the OsmoAudio, which is the DJI's own ecosystem that does not work on Bluetooth. Because the Bluetooth sounds bad on Mic 3, that is equally bad on Mic Mini as well. That was all the feature, but let's compare the audio sample in the real scenario. I'm recording first with the Mic Mini without any kind of processing done, and from here fixing the EQs little bit to optimize it better. And now we are switching to the DJI Mic 3 with its internal recording without any kind of post processing done. And now I'm adding little optimization to the audio to make the sound little bit better. And for testing the noise cancellation and other features, it won't be much audible inside, so let's move out. So right now we are outside and we are close to a very busy road and with the park, and which also has a park, let's say. And now I'm recording with DJI Mic 3. The audio is directly going to my DJI Osmo Action 4 by using the Osmo audio connection. And right now we are recording with any kind of noise cancellation turned on. And from here, and now I've turned on the noise cancellation. So we are recording in the weak setting of the noise cancellation right now. So there might be still some noises that you can hear right now. And from here, I'm going to turn on the noise cancellation mode in the strong setting. So now we are recording in the strongest setting of the noise cancellation. And the good thing about using the Osmo Action 4 is like you can make that switch without going to all the settings in the transmitter, which is really great. And from here on, I'm going to switch the microphone. And from here on, we are recording with the DJI Mic Mini. The audio is again going straight directly to my Osmo Action 4. And we are recording without any kind of noise cancellation on, so you will hear a lot of noises. And from here, I will switch to the noise cancellation mode on. So the LED is blinking yellow and we are in the lowest mode of the noise cancellation. So with this mode, you still hear a little bit of noises, and this is normally how I like to use it, because when you go into high, it makes your voice sometimes too robotic. And now I'm going to switch to the high mode so you can hear it for yourself. And now we are recording the highest mode of the noise cancellation, and now you will hear less of the noises. So this was the case if you want to use your microphone in more of a static talking head kind of videos. And now we'll switch to a different kind of outdoor setting. And now we are recording with the DJI Mic 3, but the settings we are in is more of like a city center. So the noises you have around is more or less like the people or crowd. It's going to be useful if you are going to be vlogging with this mic. And now we are recording with any kind of noise cancellation off.
Turn right 5.
And from here on, I'll turn on the noise cancellation mode, first to the weak mode. And from here, we are recording with, and let's say the low settings of the noise cancellation. And this is how I usually record. Like one thing I noticed about this transmitter, like the weight of this one is still pretty much more than the Mic Mini. And I lost my, let's say the Mic 2 because the weight was really high on those transmitters. And now I'm going to switch to the high setting of the noise cancellation mode. And now we are recording the highest mode of the noise cancellation, and we are also doing the inbuilt recording. So one thing I actually really like about this Mic 3 is the design improvement in terms of, let's say, the clip. And now with this, you can have your microphone aligned to different angles, which is not present in Mic Mini. And from here, we'll switch to the Mic Mini. And now we're recording with the DJI Mic Mini without any kind of noise cancellation on. So being the older generation of the design, like you still have that rigid clip that doesn't give you a kind of flat look but more elevated. But the color of this thing and the logo in the gray has more of a stealth look. And from here I'm going to switch to the low noise cancellation mode. But one thing that I really like about this mic is this one is little lighter because this one weighs around I think 10 grams, so it doesn't pull your shirt that much. And from here I'll switch to the higher mode of the noise cancellation. And now we are recording with the highest mode of the noise cancellation, which gives you a kind of robotic sound, like in my past experience I'll say so far. Like one issue I encountered with this microphone when I was trying to connect this to the action. So like sometime it get disconnects and it does not connect again. So I have to reconnect it to the receiver and after that try. But in case of the Mic 3, let's say the Wi-Fi connection using the Osmo audio is so spotless. So this was the audio samples that we take from it. And now we're gonna try also some range tests. So now we are outside and first we are going to check the range test of the DJI Mic Mini. So I will try to walk with, let's say, my back towards the transmitter just to see if it is connected. And also I can see the status by seeing the LED. And so far it is connected. We are straight in the line of the sight. And normally at this range it starts to disconnect, but this one is connected so far. And I'm not sure if it is. Now we are almost at 100 meters away, and now I'll face it straight with the line of sight. Earlier the signal had to pass my body, which might obstruct the signals little bit. I hope in this scenario the audio would be better. And there is also a bunch of cars that was blocking our signal. But normally with all the mics I've tried, when the signal has to pass through your body, they break because they are supposed to be designed in, like we are using the DJI Osmo Action 4 because you can connect to that without using the any kind of receiver. Using the OsmoAudio, the DJI's own technology that gives you spotless connection, the range of the receiver. And now we're going to switch to the DJI Mic 3. And now we are recording with the DJI Mic 3. I'll use the same method. I'll walk first with my back towards the camera. And let's see how much longer it can attain the signal. because the DJI Mic 3 in this case, with even the signal passing through my body, was able to maintain the signal throughout, which I was not expecting, because when I tried the mic from Hallmark, they break it. Disconnect sometimes, which this one when you have, so there was issues with the Mic Mini, and now we are almost like 100 meters away, and we are still in the direct line of sight of the camera, and I don't think signal has broken so far, because I can also see the LEDs as I'm holding the microphone in my hand. But the best part is the you can enable this setting inside the camera, in this case action 4 or receiver, that it also maintains the internal recording. So in this case you are having the internal backup recording in case the signal breaks, which is not possible with the Mic Mini. And like in these kind of scenarios, if you have to go away from the camera, like the I'll say the transmitter with the internal recording is the one I recommend. So do let me know if the signal break during this small walk. Now let's move back to the studio. So after all the testing here, this is my final verdict. Let's start with why I would choose Mic Mini. First and foremost, the price, which is now 3 times cheaper at 110 for the dual transmitter and case combo, and 59 euros for a single transmitter and receiver combo. Mic Mini is also a great option if you are mostly recording yourself, like doing talking head videos or vlogging. In this case, you already know your audio gains, and any small offset can be managed with its excellent clipping control and the safety track. It's also perfect if you are working with a single camera audio setup limited to two mics, so you don't need extra hassle of importing the audio separately like me. Plus this case is smaller, lighter, but still gives you a solid 48 hours of battery life, more than the Mic 3. And I would choose Mic 3 if 32-bit audio is a must for you, because you work in an environment where you need more flexibility for the post-production. Could be loud places or people who can change their audio level infrequently. Basically for more professional gigs. Another big one if you want more than two audio sources, like 4 transmitter on a single receiver and more synchronizing up to 4 receivers. And the last important feature is timecode, which I think is one of the biggest update that eases up your life a lot in the post-production if you're using a multicam or audio setup. So have you made your mind about which one to buy? Let me know in the comments along with any other questions you might have. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more tech gear reviews and travel vlogs. And I'll see you in the next one.